Have you ever just stopped and thought about how many times a day you act on pure impulse? It's a really interesting question because it points to this subtle but huge shift in our minds, a skill we might be losing without even realizing it. So let's get into that.
Welcome to another masterclass. Lordy here from Merchants of Wisdom.
Seriously, think about your days so far. How many times did you just react without a second thought? This isn't just about our phones or our tech. It's about a fundamental change in our expectations and, our ability to just be patient. You know the drill, right? It's almost a reflex. That little buzz in your pocket, that ping from your computer, it's a trigger. And our response is automatic. There's no pause, there's no thought. It's just pure, immediate reaction. And that cycle just keeps going. An email, a tag on social media, a news alert. We're totally conditioned to jump on it right away because, hey, what if we miss something? This constant loop of stimulus and response has become like the soundtrack of our lives. But here's the thing, all this instant gratification, it isn't free. There's a hidden cost to living this way. A really fundamental human skill is just kind of fading away with every single click and tap. That's it. It's the simple but profound ability to just wait. That capacity to be okay with the space between wanting something and actually getting it. This is the skill we are accidentally training out of ourselves, and maybe even more concerning, out of our kids. So, how did we even get here? To this world that seems to have no room for waiting? Well, it's a story of how we've basically engineered patience right out of our daily lives. Think about it. Life used to have all these built-in pauses. Cooking, cleaning, sending a letter, all of it took time. It required patience. Today, well, almost all of those waiting periods have been totally replaced by instant solutions. And look, convenience is great. Nobody is saying we should go back to washing clothes by hand, right? But we just have to acknowledge the unintended side effect here. We're actively conditioning our brains to expect immediate satisfaction in every single part of our lives. And this conditioning, well, it becomes pretty dangerous when our expectations for right now smash head-on into reality, especially for the next generation. Because real life isn't an app. You can't just tap a button to build a career or nurture a relationship or get good at something. It all takes time and patience. So a mind that's only been trained for instant is just not prepared for that. And that leads to a whole lot of frustration and disappointment. And that's the key right there. The problem isn't that life is suddenly so much harder. It's an internal thing. It's a mismatch between our trained mindset and the way the world actually works. We just haven't built up that mental muscle for patience. This really brings the whole issue home for parents, doesn't it? When we give in to every single request immediately, whether it's to make them happy or just because it's easier for us, we're sending a really powerful and not so helpful message. We're teaching them to expect the whole world to operate on their terms instantly. And the consequences of that? They're pretty significant. A child who isn't taught how to wait grows up to be an adult who really struggles with the normal, everyday delays and rejections of life. We are, in a way, preventing them from developing the resilience they absolutely need to handle reality. Okay, so how do we fix this? Is there a way back? The good news is, absolutely. We can consciously retrain our minds, and the P.A.U.S.E method gives us a really practical way to start building that self-control back up. It all starts with a simple shift in how you think about it. See, self-control isn't something you're either born with or you're not. It's a skill. It's just like learning to play the piano or getting good at a sport. You can practice it, you can develop it, and you can definitely get stronger at it over time. So the P.A.U.S.E method is this super simple, easy-to-remember tool. It's all about inserting a moment of awareness between that trigger and your response. So first, you P for pause. Just stop instead of reacting. Then A for acknowledge. Notice the urge you're feeling. Next, U is for understand. Ask yourself, do I really need to act on this right now? Then U.S, slow down. Just give your brain a second. And finally, E for execute. Make a thoughtful choice, not an impulsive one. Okay, so knowing the method is one thing, but how do we actually put this into practice? In the real world, especially with our families. You can start with really small, totally manageable steps. That notification? It can wait 5 minutes, I promise. And when your child asks for a snack, instead of that instant yes, you could try saying, sure, let's wait until after we finish this game. These are the tiny moments where we can teach that, a little delay is normal and it's totally manageable. But maybe the single most important thing to remember in all of this is that our kids learn so much more from what we do than from what we say. Our actions are their most powerful instruction manual. It's a direct link. If they see us jump every single time our phone buzzes, they learn that impulses are in charge. But if they see us pause, take a breath, and respond calmly to something frustrating, they learn the blueprint for self-control and how to manage their emotions. And the long-term payoff for this kind of training is just huge. You're not just teaching them to wait for a cookie, you are literally equipping them with the foundational skills for a successful, happy life. You're helping shape an adult who is resilient, focused, and emotionally intelligent. Ultimately, this isn't about being restrictive. It's about being prepared. It's about trading that cheap thrill of instant gratification for a much deeper, more sustainable kind of happiness. Because true happiness, it really comes from understanding reality, managing our own expectations, and finding peace in the beautiful and, sometimes slow journey of life.